Hello folks, today I'm going to tell you how I made a drawing and then I'm going to ink it and color it. Let's take a dive into creativity. So everybody, this is the finished drawing. As you see here, we have some space rebels with guns locked and loaded. First I'm going to tell you the design process. Let's look at my design and inspiration. So to get the idea for initial poses, I took a trip to DeviantArt and found this good piece, Outer Rim Hunter by Facstar. And also this piece on DeviantArt called DL-18 Blaster Pistol by Ben Wooten. So I looked at the poses on those two characters and I drew some quick sketches, just circle heads, quick arms. Once I had my bodies finished, I decided it would start getting ideas for the character design. First, we'll take a look at my center character. For him, I took inspiration from fishmen, alligators, and even a Star Wars character. So here's a character from Star Wars. He's a bounty hunter named Bosk. You can see obvious lizard influence. So I looked at him a little bit, but I wanted to make him look more like my own. Then I made my character have little gills, so he looks like kind of a fish as well. And obviously his clothes choice is a little bit different. For this character, I had a bit different of an idea. I wanted to go off different kind of animals, so obviously has influence of a lemur, and oddly enough, the horns of a rhino. The end result is something weird, goofy, and something you have to love. Now I have my initial pencil designs and all of that figured out. I'm going to start inking my picture. You have to be really careful with inking and make sure you get the details correct because you do not want to mess up. Okay, so I'm starting with my Sharpie ultrafine. I'm going around their outlines, filling up faces, separating different pieces of the artwork. I'm not going to go into the finer detail until I have a finer tip, but for now I'm just getting the basis done. You want to go around eyes, noses, but not really into the face too much. Now, it's time for my fine tip. So here I'm finishing up the better detail inside of them. As you can see, the scales took a long time. Also, the fur took a little bit. So now we have more detail. I'm going back and forth, and now it's time to color. So this took a while, but it's definitely worth it. I want to tell you something. I couldn't get this to focus in because of the camera quality, but when you have a really fine tip pen, you're going to have to look out after it. Because on mine, the end is just so tiny that something bent it, and now when I go to use it, if I use it this way, nothing happens. So I have to hold it exactly the right way every single time, and that's not very fun, so make sure you're taking care of your pens. Okay, so these are my colored pencils. It's another Prismacolor set. I have a lot of colored pencils in here. There's 3 layers of this. I got it from my amazing cousins, so I'm going to start using them on this. But first I need to pick out some sets. It's smart to go ahead and just get a group of pencils ahead of time that you know you want for something specific, clothes, body, etc. And then it'll be a lot easier to work bit by bit. Okay, well, I just finished my coloring of the central character. I used a lot of blue and green, which is often used in a lot of lizard-like characters. But usually it's green, so I wanted to add a little splash of blue in there. I made his jacket orange and yellow, which I thought contrasted his skin very well. Pants are just a dull brown, and then his gun is a very, very shiny silver. His eyes glow with yellow, making him seem a little bit more imposing. Now it's time, I guess, to color my lemur character. Should be fun. Alright, so as I said earlier, you really have to be careful with your inking. Obviously, I didn't quite listen to myself, because if you see here, I didn't really establish the nose. So it looks a little bit like a smudge. Just going to prove how important the inking is, because it can go straight over your pencil lines. So as you can see here, I used a lot of earth tones, brown, grays, for the fur of my character. I decided that since he was such an interesting character, I'd use a lot of dull colors to contrast his personality. I made his suit gray to make it look kind of like a mismatched jumpsuit and made a bright red mark on his shoulder. As you can see, this is the finished project. I'm usually pretty hard on myself about my drawings, but I am very happy with this one. I'm glad I got the forms down, the poses, also love the colors. My first video, I hope it's a good one. Please be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. It goes a long way. Thank you, and see you next time. Next time we will dive into creativity.